going on, everyone? What's up? Welcome to Tech Talk with Swift, episode number two. Episode number two. We have a special guest, India Delgado. I'll let her introduce herself, but I'll tell you a little bit about her. Um, she's into social media, live streaming, helping you with finances. She does a lot of stuff, but I'll let her do her own intro. So, India, welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on? Let's do some sound effects.
Okay, okay.
Thank you so much, Joe, for having me. It's episode number 2, and I know that Kirk Nugent was number 1, so it's like a hard act to follow. Super exciting. Thank you,
Yeah,
thank you, thank you. So what's
you're
going on?
welcome. I'm all right. I was watching your show last Sunday. The
Yeah.
5 hour marathon you guys were
Yeah,
doing?
the 5 hour. We call it in our group. We call it 5 hour energy stream.
Yeah,
And there's a
definitely.
few of us that's in the crew: Doc Rock, Diana Gladney, DJ Strick, David Blackman. I made it last week Sunday, and that's how you caught me. Yeah, you caught me through there. We was doing the stream deck stuff.
Yeah, I was like, wow, I gotta contact her. I gotta have her on the show sometime. You
Yeah,
responded right away. I was like,
yeah.
excellent. I was like, great. Yeah.
Got
So,
gotta show love to the community. I saw that you were new to Ecamm. We can definitely talk about that a little bit, the community and the experience. But I did see that you were new to the community, so I was like, of course I'm gonna come through and show some love. Let's make it happen.
appreciate that. So, tell
Yeah.
my audience a little bit about you, what you do, who you are.
Yeah, so like Joe said, have my hands in a lot of pots, so we'll do the way I normally do. I'm a banker by day. So my full 9 to 5 job, I am a mortgage loan originator. I work for a bank based out of New Jersey here on the East Coast. And I focus on first-time home buyers. So I do first-time home buyer financial literacy courses. I work with like the local nonprofit agencies if there's any down payment assistance and grants, and just helping first time home buyers really achieve the dream of home ownership and just trying to explain it that you feel comfortable. Of course, I can do any mortgage, so I can do refinance, investment property, but that's how I give back to our communities. And then by night, I do
By
this
night.
stuff. By night, so by banker by day and everything else by
By
night.
night, yeah.
Right. But let me see. So, remote producer. So I remote produce shows. I help out. I'm in the Ecamm Live community. That's how you and I met. That's the
Yep.
software. So for those of you guys that don't know how Joe is making this amazing scene look so great, he's using a program called Ecamm Live on Mac. So I'm in that community. There's another community that I'm a part of called Let's Get Live. And
Hmm.
we just help each other out. We live stream. I like to do, I guess my biggest thing for me is helping people. So whether that's
Okay.
by day with the finances, right, and coaching them through and making them feel comfortable with a mortgage, or by night with the tech, helping you understand the tools that you need to be a better content creator or helping you to digitally present your best self. So that's
Okay.
me. That's what I'm about.
That was real good. That was wonderful.
That was long-winded, I feel like. I just went on and on and on,
That
but,
was good.
thank you.
It's good. You did a better job than what I would be able to do. That's why I let
Alright.
you introduce yourself. So, how
All
did you
good.
get into the whole live streaming? Like, what made you want to do it?
So it's funny because I do the first time homebuyer seminars normally before COVID. I was doing them in person, whether they were at libraries, at branches, at local housing authorities. And then COVID stopped all of that, right? And so that doesn't mean that we stop helping the communities and people can't, get the information.
Yeah.
So I had to kind of think on my feet and say, all right, how do I bring this first time homebuyer content, this mortgage content to a digital space and a digital realm? And of course, it was Zoom. Everybody was doing Zoom, right?
Everybody. Yep.
But like me and you spoke on before when we were prepping for the show, Zoom is just a plain Jane. Zoom is
Yeah.
like, that's just whack, right? And so for me, it's like, no, I need to make it where people want to listen. I want to get people engaged. And I started looking for software, started looking for different tools. Like a lot of other people, I
Mhm.
jumped on to OBS because you can do overlays. You can bring in your
Correct.
PowerPoint. You
Yeah.
can make your camera bigger or smaller. And then I was watching, there's a content creator called Henny the Business on YouTube. So I was watching one of his videos and he was talking about showing how he does his layout. And he spoke very highly of Ecamm. So I was like,
Hmm.
let
So
me
you
check
checked
it
that
out.
out.
And
Yeah.
that's it. And that's all she wrote from there. I had a Mac, so it is an Mac only program. I did have a Mac, so it worked out for me, and it has been amazing. And that's how
Mm,
I got into live streaming because basically I took the virtual camera, made my Zoom, my first time homebuyer presentations look really good, right? Because
yeah.
now it's like I have my logo, my bank's logo, I have my name, all of that, my lower third, all of that good stuff, bringing the presentation. And then the community, honestly, that was the biggest thing. The community, when I started finding everybody was doing live streams to the Facebook group and I
Yeah, the
started
community is big.
interacting. Man, the community, I mean, in the Ecamm page itself, there's over 13,000 members, and then our Let's Get Live, because Doc Rock just started it right before Christmas, there's about 350 members, so it's growing every day. But
Mm,
even with a smaller community like that, everybody just helps each other and just shows love, and that's where we're at now.
okay. One thing that I'm amazed your background. I just
Yeah.
realized maybe 2 weeks ago that it's not real. It's a green
No.
screen.
A lot of people, hold on.
I was like,
Do I
it's a
have that?
real
I don't have the
wall.
trombone. A lot of people's feelings was hurt. So hold on, let me show you guys. It is a green screen and you're not the only one. So, boom,
Wow. Yeah.
boom.
Boom. Yeah, that's her like one of my favorite
Yeah,
words I found out.
boom, exactly. I think
Boom.
that has to be a New York thing, right? Because I'm
Yeah, I
from
can think so.
Brooklyn, you're from Queens, right?
Queens.
You're New York all day, rep all day.
Yeah, yeah.
So that boom is a New York thing for sure. But yeah, it's green screen.
That's one of the best ones. It
And
looks
so
so real. I know the lighting
thank
is
you.
like the main thing.
Yeah, the lighting is the main thing. So I have 4 lights. I mean, if we count the ceiling light, I actually have 5 lights.
Mm,
So I have a soft box here on the right-hand side. I have an Elgato key light on my left-hand side. Then I have a Panel Go Cube LED for behind me, right
mm,
over here. And then I have like a photography light bulb on the lower left-hand corner, facing like taking care of all of this stuff. So it's 4 lights, and depending, I guess, on where I'm at, and you know what? And one of the things with green screen, I think also it depends on the background people use.
okay.
So for me, when I was doing research on the background itself, right, and I was checking different backgrounds, there are some backgrounds that it's gonna be obvious that you're doing green screen,
Yeah,
right?
correct.
It'll be you in that fake beach, you know, the one that everybody
Yeah,
uses on
the
Zoom,
beach.
right? Right, come on. You know what I mean? And so for
Everybody's
me,
at the
that was
same beach.
right, hello, and, like, really, like, come on. And so that was also a conscious decision when I was setting up my green screen, I started testing out, "Hey, y'all, what's going on? Thanks for showing love." I see a whole bunch of people coming through, so
Yeah,
that's
thanks
good.
for
Thank you for
coming
putting
through.
some comments. Yeah, and definitely keep sharing. I see Michelle is here, LBC Branding. So
Yeah,
if
I
you can
see.
share in the Let's Get Lives, just show support, and just tell everybody to come through and show Joe and his channel some love. Because for those of you guys that have come in, this is his 2nd episode. Kirk Nugent was number 1, I'm number
Yep.
2, so we gotta help Tech. Joe and his Tech Talk with Swift get off the
I
ground
know. I've
running.
been getting it wrong for like 2 weeks. I was like, wait a minute, is it tech talk tech? Tech talk? I was like, wait a minute. I named it, I forgot the name.
Get it together. Get it together, Joe.
Share. Boom.
Hold on. And oh, that's my music. Hold
Oh,
on. And boom.
there we go.
There you are. But
Uh,
the green screen. So I think the green screen definitely is choosing the right background. We can go through, obviously, some of the backgrounds that you have, right? Like this is the generic Ecamm one that we have. That's me. My bad. I forgot to turn it off. My bad.
mhm.
That's the generic Ecamm one that it comes with, right? And
That
so we
looks
talk.
pretty real as well. I mean, I could tell that it's not
So
real,
what I
but
do, you know what I do with this one, because you can tell, I actually, to give it that more lofty look in
mm,
Ecamm, I just click on blur background, and
ah,
then I blur the background a little bit, right? Because you can make it that it looks crazy. And so again, it's all about your, like, what do you do? Because a
mm,
lot of people, they think that they're doing, sometimes you do too much and sometimes less is more. So you got
correct.
to think that through, right? And that's with any tech or anything in life. But with the green screen, with this brick, I usually just I'll bring the blur down to like 10 or something like that. And then that gives it a little bit of a better feel.
Hmm.
But this is the one that people talking about, like with the one that everybody knows is green screen. Like, come on.
Yeah,
Like
because
that's
your
obvious,
head is
right?
in the
Like,
trees. I mean,
right, like
yeah,
right?
too
Like, come
high.
on. Right? So it's like, you have to be real intentional and you have to, or even something like this, is green screen, right? And this is cool, like if you're a gamer or something
That's
like
how.
that,
Yeah.
right? That's definitely cool, but you can tell that that's green screen. For me, I want to have it a little bit of like psyching people out. And obviously it's done its job where I said, "All right, a lot of people, it's so funny because I die laughing. People think that I legit painted this."
Uh
And
huh.
I'm like, "No, y'all, this is green screen." Was it you when who was it? It was Keith came on and Keith started talking about the Mickey Mouse background and
Yeah,
people
yeah.
died laughing, right?
But it's
Oh,
nice. Like one thing I wish it had was the virtual background, like the way Zoom has, where you don't need a real green screen. Because people ask me, I was like,
right,
I don't think you can do that in Ecamm, not yet,
right.
or I don't know if they add in that, you know. But
No, yeah, no, no, no. You definitely need the actual green screen and then you need the lights because if you turn off lights and stuff like that, it will make it. You got to put it all together. You have to have
mm,
thought. But for me, it's also with anything you do, even with the live streaming, right? You can't just go ahead and throw a camera up and not have no thought about anything. So everything you do, you got to be planned out. The green screen just takes a little bit more tools than not. So
mm, correct.
that's
Yeah.
it.
So I mean, I've been using like Premiere to do my video editing,
Yeah.
and I wasn't really into live streaming not until this whole thing happened, and it was more like I said on Zoom, and
Yep.
I was getting frustrated with Zoom. I still love it. There's parts of it that I love because I use it for work,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm more of a creator, so I was like, I want to have different layouts. I want the quality to be a much better because I'm using
Right.
a camera with a capture card and all that. I was like, the quality's still not there. I mean, it looks better than a webcam, a lot better, but I was like, it's
Yeah.
not what I wanted. And I was
Yeah.
doing research on other programs. I wasted some money, buying other
Right.
stuff. I won't mention what they were. And I was like, oh man. But when I told you I had Ecamm, like the free trial over the summer. When I seen the
Yep.
interface right away, I was like, nah, I'm not using this because I was like, where's the preview? Where's the program?
Right.
It does look
Yep.
weird. But then I went back to it a few months later. I was like, wait a minute, this is like
Right.
Photoshop. It has layers and scenes.
Right.
I was like,
Yeah.
this is easy. I was like,
Yeah.
yes. And
Yeah, and
for
by
like
the way,
three
if you're
months.
not if you're not a beta user, join so somebody like you I would definitely recommend because you have obviously background in production.
Mhm.
Join the beta group because the next beta I heard from a little birdie, the next beta does include preview mode. So you might
Oh,
like that.
okay.
Oh, snap. Hold on.
Got yes, yes. Da-na-na-na.
You're.
Hey, what's up,
So
everyone in
yeah.
the chat? Thanks for checking in. Thanks for checking in.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for showing some love. I appreciate y'all. I think a lot of the people who are at least commenting, that's from the Let's Get Live group. So you got to come
Okay.
through. I'm gonna send you the link on well, it's Doc Rock. Let me put it right quick because whoever is not, let's put this through Doc. Let me spell this right because if I don't, I'm gonna get in trouble. And Doc is my mentor, so it's
Mhm.
docrock.live/group, and that's the Facebook group. It's the Let's Get Live group. And so if you're whatever it is, new, not new, inexperienced, experienced, if you want to be a part of a community to support, you see my peoples came through. I just put
Yep.
it on there. They all here showing
I
love.
see.
That's what it's about. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Thanks everyone for coming through.
yeah, yeah,
It's
they're
nice.
amazing. I love the guys. I love the gang. I love the gang. So what else,
Yeah.
man? So what made you start? Like for you, what made you start this channel? Like why, you
It's the
know?
right time. Sum it up right time.
That's it. There you go.
Because
Okay.
anybody that really knows me, I'm behind the camera. I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not on camera doing this. I'm
Yeah.
always behind the camera taking pictures, filming events, stuff like that. And it's just like the right time because my mother has a show and on Saturdays that I work with her, I film it and produce it, all that. So
Yeah.
I wanted to get people on the show that talks about technology, stuff
Yep.
like that. My mother, she's not into tech, so it's hard to have people on the show talk about tech, and she's not really into it. So it was the right time for me to do it. And then Ecamm really like pushed me. I'm looking at it. I'm
Yeah.
like, I had a Mac, but I
Yep.
was getting ready to sell it, which I did. Then I was like, I gotta buy a Mac. So I ran
Yeah.
out the same week. I was like, I gotta get a Mac. I got
That's
the
funny.
M1. I got the M1
Yeah.
Mac, but unfortunately, it didn't work for me because it was having issues. I don't know if it was that specific model or what. So I took it back and I got the 2019, the 16-inch MacBook Pro, and
That's
so
what I got.
far, yeah, no
Nice.
problems.
Yep.
It's been working fine. So I use this to do the show, and it's wonderful. It encourages me to actually sit here and talk to people. Like, I can't wait to use
Yeah,
Ecamm. It was like a Christmas
I
gift.
know.
I wake up early in the morning. Yes, I get to use Ecamm.
Yeah, legit. Yeah, yeah.
Yo,
I know. That's how I. So which one, the Mac that you got, is it is it 16 gig of RAM? What'd you go for?
yeah, I got the 16 gigs memory, the
Yeah, same.
i9.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
That's the
gonna get the
same thing I got.
32, but I couldn't wait for it to be
I
mailed. I
know.
was like, let me just,
We're here. We're kindred spirits.
yeah.
We're kindred spirits. Cause that was the same thing. I'm a big fan of like the Best Buy open box deals because if
Hmm.
you don't know about Best Buy open box, you need to know about Best Buy open box because you will legit find something that is like brand new. And
Hmm.
because somebody opened it and said, I changed my mind, and they take money off. So mine, we got the same laptop. I paid 19.99 brand new for my MacBook.
Wow.
On sale, that's $2,400.
Hmm.
So, but that's what it was because I was thinking about the 32 gig, right? But then the 32 gigs of RAM was pushing 3 grand, right? So I was
Yeah.
like, man, like I knew I could have gotten it. I just had to save a little bit more. So I was like, all right. And then I said, you know what? Best Buy has a generous return policy. So let me, and it's a great sale. I couldn't turn up that sale. I said, let me try because I have been doing research. And a lot of people say that for Ecamm, depending on what you're going to do, the 16 gigs of RAM would suffice.
Mm.
So I brought it home. And I've been pushing it, especially more recently, like this weekend, right? I had like 4 guests on. I had the
Yeah,
overlays, you
same.
got music, right? And it has been taking it like a champ. So I love my 2019 16 gig. The only thing is the fans, but the way my desk is set up is I have it in a stand on the opposite end. I got a 6 foot
Okay.
Thunderbolt cable, and I got
Hmm.
the MacBook on the other end. So it don't even interfere with my mic. You don't even know that the fans are going off. So I
Okay.
love my MacBook. Yeah.
Well, the thing about the M1 is true about you don't hear the fans because I was using it for a short period of time. I didn't hear the fans, but on this one, I hear the fans.
Yeah,
I mean, long as it works, does the job, I don't
yeah,
really, it doesn't bother me. But I
exactly.
do
And it don't
understand
and
the fan.
I don't hear fans, so we're good. I got headphones on, so however you
Mm.
have your placement, obviously, because it's the same thing. When I'm on, I hear it, but for
Mm.
me coming onto your stream, you don't hear no fans, so it's
Okay.
not a big deal. Yeah, so you good, you Gucci.
Got you. Got you. So,
Hey.
this question here, where do you see live streaming in 2021? Like, I know it's growing, but what's your
Yeah.
opinion and view on it?
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely like we said, right? Like it's gonna grow. I think a lot more people, I don't like regular Joes, right? Like people that thought they couldn't do it because because it's becoming more popular, there's more people who are not as intimidated to do it. So I think with live streaming, you're going to see more of the population, different demographics, whether you have older populations, younger populations, different from all around the world. Like in our Let's Get Live group, you got people in Korea, you got people in the UK. Like it's amazing
Mm.
how even when we talk to people, you got people all over the world, again, different demographics, and then it's just like LinkedIn has been getting on it this year, right, with the live streaming. Obviously you got like Instagram that they got their own lives, Facebook, YouTube. So is blowing up, but the next thing to watch out for, you know how it is Clubhouse, because that's kind of
Yeah, I've been
taking
hearing a
over.
lot.
Man, listen, Clubhouse, right? So that's the next thing that you got to watch out for because it's like
Mm.
live streaming is and always will be a thing. And I'll tell you, like with my friends that are experienced content creators, um, they're still going to do their live streaming thing. They're just trying to figure out how they can incorporate the Clubhouse into their live stream. So, like, if you've seen Alicio Ways, where he's brought it over, Diana has brought like the image of the Clubhouse over into a live stream and bringing it that way. So, I guess even with that, it's pushing new platforms to be created, and then
Yes.
it's going to create this crazy synergy where it's like going to be this mix of things where people are like, yo, this is mind blowing on all the different ways you can just kind of come together and market yourself. So
True, true. I'm
yeah,
waiting for Instagram to open up the APIs and all that, but I
I
don't know.
know.
I'm just so upset. I was trying a few minutes before we started. I was trying to set up my phone so that
Yeah,
I can somehow have go live on it and people on
yeah,
my IG can see. But then I realized I
yeah,
had my headphones on, so they couldn't hear you speak back. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, let me not do that right now. It's not enough time to test all that out.
Yeah. So I'll tell you, so because I've done this with Clubhouse, right? So with
Hmm.
Clubhouse, I got my AirPods, right? So
Okay.
you put your AirPods, put one AirPod in one ear. That'll be on your cell phone, on your iPhone. Then your regular, you would have to change out because I got in-ear monitors. So
Hmm.
then in ear monitor, my other ear, I have it into my Rodecaster Pro. So then
Okay.
at the same time, I'm listening, just an idea. So just split your headphones, bro. One ear for one, one ear for the other, and then you good.
Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I see some
So
comments.
yeah, that's Lola. Lola Kenton. Thanks for coming through. She's gonna leave soon, but I appreciate you. And
Oh,
then
thanks for
just
coming
people
through.
interacting about the fans. Yeah.
Nice,
So
nice.
yep,
Excuse me.
all
So
good,
yeah,
all good.
I mean, I still love live events because that's my background. You know, red
Yeah,
carpet, sporting events, and being
yeah,
that another reason why I was able to do this whole live streaming thing is because of not that many, if any, events to go to. Especially
yeah,
for me for high school, college sports, because I'm a photographer. I cover a lot of track and field and basketball and
yeah,
entertainment, like red carpets, BET Awards, Soul Train, all that. So being that there's no more of that for right now,
yeah,
it freed up time for my mind to think what else can I do and make money
yeah,
and because I love technology. As I told Kurt, that's my life right there, tech.
yeah.
And I was like, I gotta find something else. But I was like, I'm not good on camera.
Right.
I really like
Nah,
that.
you good.
Yeah, thanks. My mother, she was like, talk about what you love, which is
Right.
technology. I was like,
That's it.
all right, I'll try. I gotta find some people. Then I seen the
Right.
Ecamm community. I was like, wait a minute, there's
It's
people
a
in
wrap. You got more than
here.
enough people. You got more, and I'll tell you, all the people in the comments, they would love because all of us like right. So you got Michelle. Michelle has her own branding business, but then she also has her other business for jewelry on the side.
Mm,
You got Regina. Regina's an interior designer. I follow her on Instagram. She has amazing things on there. Kombucha is starting off her stuff, right? You got Mr. Camera Junkie. He obviously does camera stuff. You got
yeah.
Goth Angelic. She actually has two channels. She has that channel, then she does her fitness stuff, right? So it's like you got people you can
That's
interview.
great.
That's why I said make
Yeah.
sure you come through, you join the Let's Get Live group because you'll have interviews for days with us. And then the way you saw the 5 hour live, we was just
Yeah, that was
politicking,
amazing. I
right?
watched it
Like we was
again
just
after the next
politicking.
day
Yeah, that's it.
because I missed like the first 2 hours. I was like, I wanted to
Yeah,
see what they talked about. I was like, I didn't watch the
yeah,
whole thing, but I was like, yeah, this is great. This is
yeah,
great.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I loved it.
So,
I
but
follow
that's
you
what it's about,
guys.
right? Like, it's about community. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What you were gonna say?
I was saying I follow you all on Instagram and YouTube. I watch Doc Rock. I seen
Yeah.
him a couple months ago. I think it was on Leo Laporte. Twit Network and all that.
Twitch, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Was it
Twitch.
right? Yeah,
Yeah,
Twitch. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Twitch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I seen him. I see a lot of people, and I was like, I wasn't thinking like, oh, I could actually contact them, social media, email them, stuff like that. I was like, it's cool. They actually respond. I was like, oh wow, you
Yeah.
people respond. That's cool.
Yeah, that's we were just talking about I'm telling you, we were just talking about that this morning. And it's not, listen, we are full aware that our community is definitely a one-off because there are other communities that don't respond or anything like that. And
Mm,
it's crazy. That's not the case, even with Ecamm, right? Because that's the community you're a part of now. With Ecamm, you have the developers, Ken and Glenn, and they come into the posts and they'll, if people are talking about that there's some issues going on with, the software, if there's a bug or whatever, they are active. And if it's a legit, like they'll research right away. And like if it's an easy fix, 4 hours later, they're coming back to the group saying, okay, update, because we just fixed whatever glitch it was. So one, the access to the developers, like direct access. Then you have, the marketing people, Caleb and Katie, where they're active. So that's how you came to meet me because Katie reached out and she's like, listen, we want to do a takeover. We want you to take over. And it's me, Lemuel, DJ Strict, and Alicio.
mm,
They gave us the Ecamm community takeover for the month of January.
okay.
So it's also the amount of like they want their users to talk about the product, right? Because
Yeah,
who else,
I
who
definitely know
better?
that.
Like that's such a smart business model. Who better to promote and talk about the product but the people who are actually using it and
Using it,
loving it?
yes.
So it's just, yeah, the community, like you're in definitely in a good space to do it
Mm.
because it'll be easy for you because of the people that you can interact with.
Yeah,
So
that's one thing that I loved because when I had the other computer, I was having issues, and I contacted the
Yeah.
tech support, and Ken
Yeah.
actually wrote back to me a few times.
Hey.
I was like, wow, this is
Hey.
actually the CEO actually contacting me, asking me,
Right.
he was like,
Right.
well, let me know if you need any more help. I was like, I don't
Yes.
know if this was a bot or what. I was like, maybe it's a
No, I
robot or something
know.
like that.
That's so funny because the same thing happened to me. Like it was
Mm,
like maybe 3 months ago. I had an issue with the camera effects box. You for whatever reason you couldn't make it bigger and you could only scroll. So I put
mm.
in a ticket and I was like, listen, this is something like is not a big deal. And Ken reached out to me like 2 hours later and I was like, is this the Ken? Like and
Yeah.
I thought the same thing with you. I was like, "Is this like a generic response?" And it was legit Ken. And then the same thing. He was like, "India is fixed. So, and let me know." And I was like, "I feel so special."
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God. I was like fangirling legit. So, yeah, it's pretty awesome to know that you have that access because then it makes it worthwhile when you invest, right? Like you want to
Yes.
invest where you know you're gonna get the return on your investment, right? Because it's like at least I know even if like they did increase their prices earlier this year and there were some people who were like trying to say, they was complaining, but with first of all, the quality of the product that you have, the tools that it gives us to stream to YouTube, Facebook, the amount of updates because they listen to their community
That's
and
one
they
thing I seen.
update,
Yes, the update. Since I got it,
right?
I see so many updates. I'm like, wow, this is what I
Crazy,
like.
like, every
Yes.
update and it's like it's not even like, how some people app developers be updating and it's like one thing and then there's one thing
Yeah.
you'll never use. That's not the case with Ecamm. It's like 4 or 5 bullets, and then it's like, "Oh my god, they're bringing this on. Oh my god, they're bringing that on." So,
Yep.
what you pay for because what happens is, right, like, people like me and you remote produce shows, and the things that they're giving you, you're just getting a return on your investment
Mm,
because it makes your remote production show so much better. It makes it cleaner where it does its job on what it's supposed to do.
mm.
Obviously, I'm an Ecamm fangirl,
I see. I
so
see.
love me some
I mean,
Ecamm.
I use other programs for work and also for
Yeah,
personal, but
yeah,
Ecamm is like, I was like, I can't wait to use it. It's like
I
when I
know.
turn on the computer, I was like, yes, I get to
Yeah,
use Ecamm today. You know.
legit, legit. Yeah, yeah, I
Um.
can't wait for that preview mode. I'm excited for that,
Yeah.
man.
Because
But
I'm
yeah,
still learning the program. So the other programs that I use has that. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, I can't preview before I go
yeah,
live. I was like,
yeah,
and I did hear it was coming soon, and you said it as well. So
yep,
I can't wait for that. There's a
yep,
few more features that I would like in it, but overall, it's definitely worth the money.
yep,
And I got it on the Black Friday deal, Cyber
yep,
Monday deal, I think it was.
yep.
So, that
Yeah,
was a
the same
great.
thing.
Mhm.
I did,
That was a
so
great deal.
I went and because I've been using it since the summertime, so I was paying monthly for Pro, and then they came and they had the beta for interview mode, and then they put it in, and they felt comfortable putting it, for everybody, for the masses to use, and then they did have a price increase because, of course, they're gonna need more servers, it takes more bandwidth, right, to do this ability with Ecamm interview mode. So they
Mhm.
did increase their prices, but the people who were either thinking about using it or currently using it, they told us, they said, "Listen, if you're thinking about getting it, lock in, get an annual pass and lock in at
Okay.
this grandfathered rate." And I was like, "Do I wanna keep paying?" And then I say, "You know what? I use Pro." Like the way you said, I am looking for opportunities to use my Ecamm on a daily basis. That was a no-brainer to just pay the 200 whatever it was, like $250 or whatever,
Yeah.
for the Pro for the year, and now I'm grandfathered in. And again, with everything that I'm doing, like, look, right, you got your buy me a coffee up. I got put my
I
buy me
see
a
you. I
coffee
seen
up.
it last week.
Right, I did it on the live stream, right? I
Yeah.
already made my return on my investment for paying for the Ecamm with
Mhm.
just 1 weekend's worth of, buy
Wow,
me a
that's great.
coffee. So it's like and that's the goal. You know that you have invested in a good product when you continue to get that return on its investment over and over and over again. So,
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah, let me
Uh,
see.
uh,
Michelle is saying, preview mode will eliminate the need for an A10 mini for sure. Right. Because that's what a lot of people try to say, and I get it. So, there's definitely like some people are for it, some people say no big deal about, preview mode because so the argument is with preview mode, if you're doing stuff on the fly, people get to know, hey, it's okay to make, like what we were talking about, the newer live streamers, the newer content creators, right? People
Mm-hmm.
get to say, man, it's okay to make mistakes. I don't have to have this polished thing. So you just bring yourself down to a level that's relatable. And I get that 1000% because if you
Mm.
watch all of my live streams, like I'm like, there was one, I think it was at one point last week, it was black because I just started creating a new scene. There was nobody on the scene. And then the community was like, yo, India forgot to pay the lights. Like,
Wow.
because I was creating on the fly, right? So it
Yeah.
definitely makes you more relatable to your group and to your community. Um, and I get that. But then on the flip side of it, when we spoke about like when I first started using Ecamm Live for my first time homebuyer seminars or working in a bank, for
Mm.
me, I see the value in preview mode because if I need to make a scene or if I'm remote producing a show for someone that's paying me and it's a legit more professional environment, well, we're right live, we're friends. We're all a family here. So it's okay to make
It's
those
a little
mistakes. But
different.
when you're
Yeah.
talking about right, and I know you can relate because
And that's
this
the
is your
world that I
business.
come
So when
from. Yeah.
right. So when someone is paying you to remote produce a show and you got to create a scene on the fly, that's where I think preview mode is really going to like capitalize and it's going to be that game changer. And that's what kept people holding on to the A10 mini, like Michelle said, because if I have a second monitor or a third monitor, I just put the A10 mini, that preview mode in the third monitor. And while the guests are talking, I can just go ahead real quick, make my preview mode, boom,
Boom.
bring it in,
Shout out to
bring it into the
James.
show,
Boom.
right? And boom,
And boom.
bring it in, and now we're good. So for me, I do love, yes, exactly. KP is here. And so boom, I can see the value in preview mode. Definitely, I have no problems with doing stuff on the fly because you don't want to put yourself above your community
Mm.
because then it's like they're either not going to be so freely engaging or they, maybe turned off or whatever. So definitely, but on the retrospect of it, when you're trying to produce something legit polished and for those bigger fish business
Yeah.
production deals, that's it, man. That's what you want. You want that preview mode.
Yeah, because in
So,
my field, like if you make
yeah.
mistakes, you can get fired for stuff like
Right.
that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I pressed the wrong button.
We don't want that. We do not want you to get fired. No.
you know. So I was like, I'll use the other program for work and
I
Ecamm
hear that.
for like
Right.
personal
Right.
and
So,
family
so
stuff.
make sure you sign up for beta mode
Okay.
because it's going to be coming up soon in the next beta because then that's going to eliminate like what Michelle said or any of those other programs. And then what happens is as you remote produce shows, right? Like the way I did with my Stream Deck, you if it's you never want to have to switch from one program to another, right? Like you want to have just one tool because then is muscle memory.
Yeah.
So if I know that in Ecamm I'm doing this, I'm doing that on my Stream Deck, all the scenes are laid out in a certain kind of way, right? But then because there's no preview mode, I have to use a whole nother program. Your muscle memory is now working twice as hard
Correct.
and you can't focus on the show the way you want to focus because you need to make sure it's laid out perfectly.
Mm.
Um, so
Yeah, I love the
yeah,
layouts. It's like for me, it's
yeah,
like Photoshop. I'm like, oh, simple.
right,
You don't
yeah,
have to look at any manuals. Like this is easy, and the
right,
quality.
yeah,
A couple of my friends like they seen the little preview video that I did before the first interview. They was like, "What are you using?" I was like,
yeah,
"Well, Ecamm plus my camera." They was like, "I need that." I was like, "Okay, you got to get a Mac if you don't
right,
have one." You
and
know,
boom,
exactly.
Ecamm.
Then to move on, you could use the Stream Deck with it, and I seen that you got the XL,
Yeah,
and I
that was
just
from
got
my boy
mine.
KP.
Okay,
He's in
shout out.
there. Yep. And then again, right, going back to the community. So it was crazy because I was doing the live stream showing how I use Stream Deck. I had the little one. Keith came on and Keith said, you know what? Let's give back to the community as a whole. I'm going to hook you up so you can take advantage of the more buttons. You're
Hmm.
going to donate it. And then we donated it to someone. I actually shipped it out to him yesterday, Ed Kerr.
Oh,
We
nice.
donated mine to an Ecamm Live user, and he was about to buy one. And we were talking yesterday via Messenger, and he was like, "India, I'm so excited! I can't wait! I'm so grateful." That going back to the return on the investment, when
Mm.
you have community, you have a great product, you have access to the developers. I don't know anywhere else you can get all of those things in one package.
Yeah, I never
So
seen that. I never. The community
yeah.
alone is like worth the money.
Mhm.
To be able to connect with people. that are doing
Yeah.
similar stuff. Not even if they're not doing similar, you can connect with people like you do. You deal with homes and stuff like that.
Right.
That's something that many people need a service.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
it's a wonderful community, especially during
Yeah.
these times. A lot of people may
Right.
feel alone. You know,
Yeah.
so I love it. It's a
Yeah.
wonderful. The hope, everything about it. It's good. It's a lot of good stuff that come
Definitely.
from it. You know.
Definitely. Definitely. Are you an affiliate? Do you have your affiliate for Ecamm yet?
Nope, not
Not
yet.
yet. No. Oh, so I'm gonna take over. So if you're not, I mean, a lot of our people are in, but anybody who watches it, here's my affiliate link: idelgadoproductions.live/ecamm. I am gonna put it on there.
Okay.
You can get a free idelgadoproductions.live/ecamm. You can get a free 14-day trial. So if you have not checked it out, make sure you check out. And then Joe, as soon as we get off the phone, you're gonna do two things. As soon as we get off the interview, you are gonna
All right.
join the Let's Get Live group
Okay.
because you are on the come up and Kurt is there, I'm there, so you need to join the crew because you'll have your year planned out for interviews for sure.
I appreciate that.
Um, and then after that, make sure because you love Ecamm so much, and if you're saying there's a lot of bro, you can make a good amount of money. That's an additional revenue stream
Okay.
because if you're with your access and with your work experience, if there's already people asking you, bro, you need to become an affiliate member. I want to tell you, become an affiliate member first and then join the Let's Get Live group because then you start sharing your affiliate stream, your
Mhm.
affiliate link, and you'll make good paper for that. So get it,
That's good
get it, get it.
information. Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Appreciate that.
So we had some more people come in. We got some viewers. Again, Let's Get Live group. So James came in. I see James is here. The convos, that's Keith Pelzer. That's my boy Keith, my big brother. Foley came in, Fulgen. So we got y'all showing love. Thank you, everybody. And if you
Yes.
haven't liked, let me do the plug for Joe. If you haven't liked the stream, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. This is Joe's second interview. Kirk Nugent was the first one. I am the second one. So, boom, we need to make
Boom.
sure we show him some love. Let's make it happen. Okay. So make sure you subscribe to his channel. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and then just share it out with everybody else to continue to show some love and get these analytics going so we can help his channel get thrown off the ground, picked up. Yerp,
Yes.
yerp, yerp.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
all for throwing plugs out there.
yeah,
So,
that's
whenever
good.
you need, Imma plug you. I got you,
Thank you.
brother. Yeah.
So
Look at that.
yeah.
Keith is saying, so there's the price. Keith is saying, Keith said, excellent and polished. Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, but this is what he does. Don't be fooled, y'all. His full-time job, tell him what you do full-time. Don't be fooled. Look at his Instagram page because I was like, because I saw that Keith Kirk was his first interview. So I was like,
Yeah.
all right, so he's new on the come up. Let me check it out. Let me look, right? And then I started looking at his Instagram page. I said, mm-mm.
I'm still
He a
new to
pro.
this.
He got this under control. Like, come
It's
on.
only my second time.
Mhm. You good. You good. You good, brother. Go
you
ahead.
know.
My bad. What were you gonna say?
I forgot what I was gonna say. Well, my
Oh, my bad.
background is in tech and also sports. Started with sports as from a young age, and also music. I used to DJ as well, so I tie all that in. So I know about the audio. I'm not
There
an
you go.
expert, but I know the audio, the video,
Yeah. Yeah.
entertainment stuff like that. So I mix it
Yeah.
all together. Also web design, but I kind of stopped on that because a lot of work. Well, everything's a lot of work. But I was like, yeah, the whole coding thing, yeah, not. I can't do that.
Yeah. No.
I'd rather speak to actual people than this type code all day.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way. You help, and that's why I said, like, for me, at the end of the day, if you really want to ask India what she loves to do, is just helping people.
Yeah, I seen
That's
that in
it.
the bio.
Regardless of what it is, I just want to help people on anything I can help you with. So anything I have knowledge on, financing, banking, tech, cars, live streaming, remote production, anything, any knowledge that I have, I'm going to share with you. I've always been a firm believer. There are some people that they like to like covet what they know because they think it's going to make them superior, right? And it's like for me, nah, give it all away. Like, and there's a lot of people, I think almost all of us in our community, that's how we feel, right? Like, it's like just give it all away because when you give it away, you're going to get blessed two, three, four, five fold.
Yeah, I see
You're
that.
not even going to think about it. So just give it away. Give it away.
Yeah, I definitely see that from a personal experience. I've seen that. Like you can't hold. I mean, you some things you could, but it's like with this stuff, like you gotta like teach people, especially if they really
Right.
want help.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna
Yeah.
come back
So
to you. It's gonna come
that's
back.
it. I'm laughing at Keith. He said, I remember when India used to steal cars and rob banks and stuff.
Oh.
Right. I went from robbing banks and working for banks. Keith, come on. Stop telling my secrets, yo. Chill. Boom. Hold on. chill.
Chill. Let's
And then they
see.
said Keith also said that you were swift on that buy me a coffee. That's it. You
Oh
got it all
yeah.
together. That's what's
After I
up.
seen
Yeah,
yours, I was
man.
like, I gotta look that up. What's that? I was like, what's that
Right.
about?
I know. That's it. Yeah, man. That's funny. I'm just looking at all the comments. Everybody showing love. That's amazing. Super happy. That's good. That's how we do.
Appreciate
Yeah.
that. Were you checking that out
Yeah.
on the YouTube?
I have both up. So I have the comment stream on the interview mode. And
Okay.
so what I do is as a guest, because I'll come on Doc Rocks as a guest, I'll come on Diana Gladney's as a guest. So I do a lot of guest stuff. Now I'm actually just getting into my own stuff, kind of like I did last week.
Mhm.
Um, and so the best way, this is good feedback for you as you bring guests in, if they're not experienced with Ecamm, is there is a bubble on the right-hand side of your browser. It's a
Mhm.
chat box. They have to click on that. That'll open up all the live interaction chats of the
Okay.
pages that you're streaming to, and they can see it. But then another cool tip is, depending on how tech savvy your guest is, tell them to open up a secondary window and do side by side of like
Okay.
right now I opened up, that's why I asked you your YouTube stuff,
Mhm.
because I opened up a secondary window of the YouTube channel. So like that, as I see people come in, I can also go in and interact in the actual live chat. So, we talk, we read it, we bring it up on screen, but then if there's stuff for me that I want to reply to people in the chat, I have it all together side by side. So tech tips. There you go.
Okay.
See?
Tech tips.
Talk
Talk
tech, tech tips with Swift. We
with.
gon' we gonna get the name together. That's a little bit of a tongue twister, but we gonna get it. We gonna get it. So
Exactly.
yeah.
So
So what else,
India,
man? What else?
a lot. I'm just been learning the past like 2 3 months really more about live streaming production because like I said I'm more behind the scenes and we do more like productions where we edit, take time
Right,
and go through the edit so it's not live. And when it is live, I'm not the one usually manning the control. I'm
right.
I'm s- I'm new in that part of the business, so I'm just following instructions. So when it comes to this personally, like this is a brand new thing for me for live. My mother does it, but I help her. I'm not in front of the camera, so it's like a different experience. And I'm
Yeah,
manning the controls at the same time, so I'm thinking of what to say to people while I'm
gotcha.
going through comments, switching scenes. I'm like, oh man, this is a lot of work. Is the
It's it
camera
is
set
it is a
correctly?
lot. Yeah. Yeah. So and Fulgens, he put a comment in the Facebook and the YouTube page. He did say that there were some comments on the Facebook stream. So I'm just going in. I opened up the Facebook stream and exactly what you were saying, right? Like as you start to use Ecamm and you do that stuff, it is a lot to monitor.
Hmm.
So I know Lemuel is on there. So someone asked, Ecamm is better. So Kashoy and Tenth, this is on your page on
Okay,
Facebook, right?
Kashoy and
Kashoy and
10th.
Tenth said, "Are you saying Ecamm is better than StreamYard and why?"
You
So
want to answer
I've
that one?
personally, go ahead, yeah, do it, make it happen. Go ahead.
Oh, you want me to answer that one?
I don't know. Do you want me to answer it? I'll say I've never used StreamYard, so it's an easy
Okay,
answer for me.
okay, gotcha. Well,
I've
for
never felt the need for it, honestly. The only thing with StreamYard that I can say is that StreamYard, it's browser based. So
I was
it
just gonna
doesn't
say,
matter what what computer you have or what operating system you're running because it's browser based. So it's more flexibility and it has a wider reach. But if you're a Mac user and if you're not and you're in the looking to get a new computer, you might want to consider Mac. Ecamm Live is only a Mac user, Mac based software.
yeah.
Go
So
ahead. Anything else you
Kashoya,
want to add? Yeah.
if you're gonna use the program Ecamm, you need a Mac, and I
Yeah.
think you have a PC. So StreamYard will be the program, the software for you, and it's in the cloud, like India said. So you don't have to worry
Yeah.
about what system you're running it on. And for you, she just got into it, live streaming stuff. So I'll say stick with that first. Then when you're ready to
Okay.
get the Mac, switch over to Ecamm. Definitely.
Right. 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 Yeah. So yeah, it's on and I have it open now. So again, we were talking about tips, right? So I have both open. Um, that's interesting because it didn't come up on my the feed here. So we both missed it. And that might
Yes.
be something with Restream, that comment, because normally
Yes.
you still should be able to see it on yours, but I've had that happen where I've been a guest, and I think even on mine, the comments don't all come through, so that's something a ticket. I would tell you since this is your stream, when
Hmm.
we're done, put in a ticket to Ecamm, and then, like, you can screenshot. um, your Facebook profile to so they can check and see why all the comments are not coming over.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I'm looking. I
Um,
don't see. And I went. I also went to Restream. Am I
yeah.
supposed to see it there too?
I think so. I don't even pay attention to the Restream stuff because I just use Restream to just do it multiple ways.
Yeah.
And I rely on the comments from Ecamm. And then I do so normally when I do it, and the way another tech tip for you as the producer, as the show host, is depending on who you're bringing on, if the guest is more savvy, you can tell them like the way I did it last week with David and Fulgens. One of them took over the Facebook watching it, the other one took over the YouTube watching it. So like
Okay.
that, there's multiple people watching, the comments, so you don't miss that level of engagement and interaction.
I see.
Okay.
I see why some people have three monitors because I have one here
Yeah.
on the laptop.
Yeah.
I was like, why do you need two, three, four? Because
When
I'm
you
like
yeah, when you're
commenting
doing
on one.
live streaming like this, legit. When you're doing live streaming like this, it's definitely the way to go. That's the move.
Hmm.
Because especially for the comments, so you want to, of course, make sure that your actual feed looks good. So that's going to be its own monitor because you want to see what the feed outgoing is looking like, right? Then you have, if you're gonna recast multi-stream to YouTube, to Facebook and stuff, you want to have all those boxes open so that you
Yeah,
don't
true.
miss an opportunity to interact with people. So, yeah,
You're right.
I'm just looking at all the comments. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
everybody coming in and stuff. Michelle said I sound like a nurse life. Yeah, we got to help each other, right? That's what it is giving back. Convo said I did a whole silent prayer today. Mike was muted.
Oh wow.
He was talking, his whole mic was muted. And then yeah, what did he say there? He said he does know people who are flowing with StreamYard, but they are missing some things from Ecamm. If you have a PC, you go to StreamYard. Yep. I agree. I agree. Regina, I agree. That's my boy Keith. So he is legit. If you already have a PC, right? Because the biggest thing, guys, too, Regina's a new streamer. She has her business and she's trying to take her business now virtually. She's an interior designer. And at the end of the day, and I think we spoke about this once or twice, Regina, is also about starting. So if you got a computer now and Restream is going to be the easiest way, and we start you off with, we were talking about what your budget was for a camera. So either you're going to use your cell phone if you don't have the budget, or you say that you're going to spend a couple of $100 and we're going to get you on a Sony camera, right? You got to get started somewhere. So it might not be so easy to pick up a Mac. And so, yeah, there's pros and cons, but the most important thing to think about in the very beginning is to get started. Because if you just acquiring, technology, acquiring, man, Regina, there's going to be another interior designer who just says, F this, I'm just going to go live stream from their phone, right? Because starting on their phone is better than not starting at all. So we got to
True.
get you started. Don't worry about the semantics, but I'm going to get you on Mac. But we going to get you started first. So that's what we going to say. All right.
Yeah, the main thing is to get started. Doesn't matter what you use, just get started, get content
That's
out there,
it.
good
Get
content,
started.
so you get
Get
comfortable.
started. Make it happen. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's all. So,
Yeah, doesn't matter. I mean, doesn't matter
yeah.
what program you use. Just get started. That's what I did.
Boom.
I mean,
That's it.
exactly.
Dropping gems.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I gotta get a year. I gotta, this one. I gotta rearrange my pad too, because now I
Mhm.
have like on this pad, I got like the applause. I got so I gotta rearrange it so that the ones that I know that I'm gonna be using more often are all on one page instead of swiping back and forth to pages.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Yeah, I'm trying
so
to set up my new Stream Deck, like the XL. Like it has so much extra
yeah,
space on it. I'm like,
I
oh, I could add
know,
more
I
buttons, more
know.
stuff.
Yeah, that's how I felt. So, I picked it up. It came through on Thursday. I
Hmm.
finished up work and I was like, all right, let me, I transferred everything over and I actually just started kind of fresh. I started with everything, brand new. And then as I started rebuilding my stream deck, I was like, now I have more buttons than I know what to do with. Like,
Yeah.
what do I do now? Right? Like, what do I do with all these extra buttons? But then it's also like I was actually thinking about it last night where like my overlays now I have extra buttons that I can do overlays because like what we spoke about during the day, I do my streams to Zoom with my bank logo, with my bank title, right?
Hmm.
So like instead of now worrying about a scene, I can keep the same background and then just turn the overlays back and forth depending on what I'm doing. Um but now I'm just looking for reasons to fill up the buttons.
Yeah.
So
I do two shows as well. Well, now I do two. So I have like, one page for
Right.
my mother's show, which is Our
Yep.
World Hour of Power, then the Tech
Yeah.
Talk with Swift. And I'm like just trying
Right.
to figure out how to do everything, how to lay everything out, make it easy for myself,
Yeah.
organize it. Because like in Zoom, as you know, most people know, you just send the link, click it, people go in. This is
Yeah.
like for me is more of a process, like thinking like how do I want it to look, the layouts from going from one scene to the next, and I love that. I mean, it takes more time, but I can create.
Yep.
It's almost like doing a movie, like you're creating different scenes, and you have to say to yourself, right, I want this to start
Right.
like this, then I
Yep.
have an intro,
Yes.
a countdown,
Yep.
then an intro, then it's me, then me and the guest, and stuff like that.
Right.
So you can do that, or it could be much simpler where you just do the basics, but I'm very creative, so I like to do this stuff. So I look at other people's channels. I'm like, oh wow, how did they do that? And I try to
Yeah.
just put my twist on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I agree. And that's so I'm doing a show on the 24th to I'm gonna multicast. So I'm gonna do it to my page, to the Ecamm live community, Let's Get Live community, and it's going to be on practicing, right? Getting your show, the show before the show. So getting
Mm,
all your scenes lined up. And it takes a lot of thought because
it does, yeah.
depending on the content, right? So if it's just going to be a one-on-one interview, then I just have to just plan the scenes, the people that, are going to be there, and then, the content that we're going to talk about. But then if you're bringing in the way I did last week, that I was bringing in the stream deck. Now I had to bring in a whole nother camera. I had to bring in a whole
That's a
additional
lot.
scene with a cutout for the camera, as well as for my guests, right? And exactly what you said, the way you did it today, it was okay. I'm gonna do the countdown for 1 minute. And then from the countdown for 1 minute, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna do the introduction, then I'm gonna pull you in, right? It takes thought and it
Yeah,
takes
definitely.
practice on how you want it to look through. So it's planning in your mind. A lot of when you start talking to more experienced content creators, they plan it in their mind, but then they have notebooks, right? And I'm trying to get better with this, of creating it on my iPad Pro, where there's, all right, a storyboard in essence. So
Hmm.
you have your storyboard and you just plan out all your scenes. So I think about it, I write it down. Then once my storyboard on paper is good, now when I interact with my guest, I'm like, okay, this is the way I want to do it. And you got to make sure your guests are on the same page as well.
Yeah,
And then the execution. So it's a lot, is a lot.
yeah, I know. I had a situation last week where I had a guest come in, and I thought they did come in on camera, but they said they didn't want to be on camera. I was like, wait a minute,
No.
already
Why?
created their I don't know, I already created the layout for them and everything, and the lady was like, I just want to come in, just my audio, and I was like, she's like, I
Yeah.
just sent you a picture, but I'm like, it's kind of too late.
No.
I'm doing the show,
Yeah.
and the picture was like so low quality, and it
Oh
was vertical,
no.
and I was like, how do I don't know what to do. But someone
Right.
told me I could add like a image of them like in the spot. But at the time, it was too late to create all that because the show was
Right.
like
It just threw
starting in
you
a
all
minute.
off.
Yeah. And
Threw you
then
all the way off.
Two other people came on that I didn't know that they were coming on the show. And I was like, I don't have names for them. I'm like, how do I do all this? And that's why I was like, I need the preview to see all this beforehand.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I hear that. No, I hear that. Yeah, that's interesting. It's so funny. I guess it's one of those things that I guess as you start to interview more people, you kind of just have to you would think that it's common sense, but common sense is not so common, right? So you
Comment.
got to
Yeah.
kind of, right? You got to kind of state the obvious and set the expectation. I was talking to Kim about this when we were talking about live streams for her channel, because she said, like, how do you stay focused? How do you keep it on track? And I think that was kind of like a loaded question, because when you're
Hmm.
doing a live stream, you can't stay focused on what you want
Yeah.
100% of the time. And I think the biggest reason why you can't and you shouldn't stay focused is because when you're live, you're interacting with your audience. And
Correct.
if your audience decides, the way it happened last week, if your audience decides to take a whole left turn and you're supposed to go straight, but you got last week, I had 50 people watching. So I was riding the wave of what my audience wanted,
Hmm.
because if that's what they want, that's what's going to keep them coming back to me and make them feel special. When you start to create content, and Doc says this all the time, it's not about India. is about the community, right? It's about what the people who came on here to see me. Like, so yeah, it's me, but it's not really me. It's about
Correct.
y'all.
Yeah.
So, right? They took mad left turns. Like we was on a highway and we ended up on a dirt road. I don't know where, like with that 5 hour live stream. But then, like I said, I had so, and you get your YouTube analytics. So I think my highest amount of viewers at one given point was I think 52 viewers. And on average for that 5 hour live stream, I had like 34 or 35
That's
viewers.
good. Yeah.
That is huge.
Five
That was my
hours.
first live stream for YouTube, right? Like
Mm.
that's huge. But that goes back to you plan, but then you got to be okay with adjusting to the plan and your focus is going to shift. So it's not that you don't have a focus, but you shift your focus and you got to make sure that you're the most important thing when you're creating content and whether it's pre-recorded content because then you pay attention to the comments afterwards or it's live streaming content is you need to one make sure you engage with your audience. So on a live stream, that's why I put up a secondary window so I can chat with people in the inbox, right? As
Yeah.
a remote producer, you want to make sure you bring those comments in because people feel special when you're paying attention to them, right? And then pre-recorded content is the same thing. You want to make sure if someone cared enough to watch your video and to take time out of their day to leave a comment, you should be hearting that comment, you should be liking that comment, and you should be replying to that comment.
Correct.
Because when you do another video, you want those people to come back because it's like, okay, man, if 300 people watched my video, but only 10 people commented, and India took time out of her day to comment on one of those 10 videos. The next time I see that India uploads a video, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to watch that video or I'm going to subscribe, right? So you need to make sure that's, with the focus. I just see what did I do? I just went off track. I just went off of a
Oh,
tangent. Drove off a hill. For,
it's all good. It's all good. It's live,
but
so
hold on. And boom, that's how we
and
drop
boom.
dimes, y'all. That's how we make it happen. Come on. Come on.
Give me 1 second. I gotta get the door. Unfortunately, we're
All right,
live.
go ahead. All right, I'll do like
I'll
a doc.
switch it
I'll
to
do
you.
like a doc rock. I'll take yeah. There you go.
All right.
So, that's so funny. He's like, give me 1 second. He's a legit live streamer on how you make it happen. So, boom, this is what happens when you go live, right? I see that Kim gave some comments, some claps with what I was saying. Keith said, planning. You have to plan. You have to plan, but then you have to just be okay with taking your adjustments and turning it around and just giving back to the community because that's what's going to be successful, right? So, Fulgens came on, so I can't obviously. Oh, so for those of you guys that are Ecamm watchers, it's not going to be in this one, but they did say that another thing that is coming to Ecamm is that when you have guests, they are putting the ability for the guests to bring comments on stage or on screen. So something like this would be perfect, right? Because he made me full screen. He's doing what he has to do. I'm going to interact with you. And now once that ability where I can bring the comments up, I can bring Full Jens's comment saying having a mod squad for YouTube lives is great, holding down the chat room and upping the engagement, right? So having your team, a community, I think that's the one thing that I probably have repeated over and over and over again is community because it takes a village. It takes a village to be successful. You cannot do it on your own because you need people who are
We're
going to
back.
support you. Hey, he's back.
You could continue.
Hey, right? That's it. Make it happen. Yeah. So, excuse me, I'm losing my voice. I did all this talking yesterday. I mean, between was it on Saturday, yesterday, Friday, yesterday, and today, I'm losing my voice. But
uh,
yeah, and so that was another thing. I don't know if you caught that right, where he said having a mod squad for lives is great. So that's another tip for you, Joe. I would say if there are people that can support you consistently on your lives that are on your team, make
mm,
them not moderators. And for those of you guys that don't know how to do that, is that it can be done on your YouTube studio channel. I don't remember the exact pathway, but it is through YouTube Studio under your channel, and you can choose moderators for your channel. And what you do is when you get to that section of YouTube Studio, you type in the name of their YouTube channel and it pops
Mm,
up, you confirm. So, like, for my live streams now, I went ahead and I made 4 or 5 Fulgens, I actually have to add you, as a moderator, but I have 4 or 5 moderators because now they'll be in the group and they'll show love. They'll make sure that the people are in the group are not acting crazy, but then
yeah.
they'll also remind the group, "Hey, make sure you hit that like button. Hey, make sure you hit that subscribe button." You know, the same thing if you have a buy me a coffee, now you're moderators because you as the interviewer, right, as the remote guest, you want to try to have it, like you said, there's a lot of stuff you got to do. So if you
Yeah.
have a community and a team behind you, taking off all those little things, do it in
Both.
the live, and I
Yeah.
was all over the place, but yeah. So good stuff. It seems like the crew who's on here now, they're enjoying all the gems that we're dropping. Anybody have any questions with anything? Or good points. He tried it Thursday during the Fit BK live. I always every time I see your title, Fit, I always think about Fitbit and it's
Fitbit.
Fit
Yeah.
BK. Yeah, it's like I just automatically go next to it.
Automatically. Yeah.
Mhm,
Fit BK.
mhm.
Yeah, there's a lot
Yeah,
of good information you're giving
Fulgens
in
is
there,
from
everybody.
Brooklyn too.
Yeah.
And he works with, well, he's an executive for a nonprofit agency, but his channel Fit BK is a fitness channel where he has a fitness instructor come in on YouTube Live and they just do, he's trying to bring fitness back to our communities.
That's great.
So yeah, that's what's up. I love his stuff. I love his stuff. So show him some love. But yeah, I'm so
Yeah.
excited. You got
That's
14 viewers. Let me see. I was trying to keep engaged in the Facebook group to see what's going on there. But I think you're okay for now
hmm
on there. So
well, it's good.
what
It's a
else,
good
Joe?
look.
Yeah, man. What else?
Just trying to look at some new camera gear to get. Well, first I gotta get
Uh-oh.
more money, you know. But
Well, what are you using now? You look good now. Your setup is legit. Okay, so first off, I've been wanting
thank
to ask you, who did your layouts? Where did you get your layouts from? Because I love your layouts, and I know that KP liked your layouts.
you.
So let's talk about that.
It's created by Joe Swift. Yep, that's me.
Hey, look at that. That's what's up. What? Oh,
Photoshop.
because you Photoshop. That's what's up, man. See, you can even help the community out with that because I am feeling this. I love the squares. I love how you did the border around the squares. It's very clean. I like that.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
gotta give a
Boom.
shout out to Kurt. He helped me.
Hey.
He
Yeah.
didn't know he
Yeah.
helped me, but he did.
Alright, that's what's up. So what did you do? You just took it as inspiration and you,
Yeah, I
kinda
looked at some of his stuff and I was like, let me, add my flavor to it.
yeah.
I had
Y
some other layouts that I created, but I was like, let me go with this because I like the colors. It matches kind of my background, the art world
Yep.
background,
Yeah.
and blue and black and gray is like my colors right there.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I'm
Looks good. I
just
like it. Very
thank
clean.
you. Yeah, I'm
You're
looking at
welcome.
other layouts like I see on TV, the news, and other networks. I'm like, because I always seen it and just never paid attention to it on that level, even though I work in TV. But now I'm like, oh wait a minute, that's a 3 box grid. I'm like, oh,
Right.
this is what they did.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, so you're in the Ecamm group. I'm sure you've seen Bradley Vincent. He does
Yes,
Keynote,
yes.
right? And it's
Watched it last
obviously
night actually.
yeah, he has his own website where he does sell overlays. But if you listen to Bradley Vincent said exactly what you just he says exactly what you just said, where he's like, listen, keep it simple. Like pay attention to what you're watching. And Bradley will tell you, go ahead and take a picture. If
hmm
you see an overlay that you like, take a picture and then you start doing your own overlays as inspiration. You don't have to have an idea from scratch. So exactly what you were just saying, right? Now you're starting to look at all the shows and everything, and it's like, hey, like I like this, and just or like from Keith stuff, from Kirk stuff, right?
Yeah,
Just take inspiration from there and then make it your own and throw on your own little touches. That's a great way to
correct.
do it. Yeah,
Yeah. You were about to ask me what camera gear I think
yeah,
I'm
yeah. What do
using.
you got? Yeah.
So I'm using the Sony A7 III with the 85 1.8,
Okay.
and right now it's
You're
on
good.
F2 or
You're good.
F2.2.
So
I
what
want
camera
another
gear
one.
you wanna go like, he's like, eh, I'm thinking he's gonna say something. I'm like, "But he looks good." Like, why? Like, oh, small flex, Sony
Yeah.
A7 III
Yeah.
with 1.2 f-stop, like a slowly Sigma 1.4. This dude come out here talking about 1.2. I need to upgrade my gear. Like, boy,
I
what?
need a
What's
red. I
up
need
with
a
you?
red 8K
Right, exactly.
webcam.
Like, what?
Nah.
Small flex.
Um
Like,
I'm trying to do a different setup where I want to have either the A. I actually want the A6600 or the 61. It does has a
Okay.
webcam or like a backup camera where I can.
Yeah.
Well, I don't need it now, but different views. I can switch
Yeah. Yeah.
between. I
Yeah.
have
Yeah. Yeah.
I have the Mevo. I
Okay.
tested it out a few times. I got that a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago.
Okay.
But it's still not the same quality, as these type of cameras. And I see everybody has
Right.
like the Sony
Sony
6100 in that
or
series and the
64.
16,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
16
Yeah. That's it.
millimeter.
The way to
Yeah.
go, the most popular one, because we're not going to talk. Keith made a joke about asking Diana Gladney. Um, So we're just going to say, Sony, if you are into live streaming, the recommendation from the kings and queens of live streaming is start with a Sony camera. Start with a Sony camera. And the reason, the short and narrow of it, is because of the 30-minute functionality that Sony like kind of removed. So you don't have to worry about if you're going to record or anything like that, is the easiest thing. The second reason why you want to go with a Sony camera is because of the clean HDMI out with autofocus. So if you're looking at other camera brands that shall not be named in this live stream, Sony cameras will give you clean HDMI. And all that means is that, when you're looking at a digital camera, you can see when you are taking a picture on the screen, it'll show your battery. It'll show like the specific little details about the image, right? It'll show all those numbers. That's called dirty HDMI. But when you take a picture and you review your picture, there's nothing on the screen. That's called clean HDMI. So when you're doing live streaming, you want your image that your viewers to see is clean, nothing on there. And Sony gives you the best and easiest solution with clean HDMI, and then their quality is great. So just for the whole package, you want to start with a Sony. It starts with the A5100. If you can find one used, that's a great way to go. And then the
Mm.
consensus is either an A6400 or an A6600. Those are the most popular ones. And then the lens that everybody goes with, because we don't got big flex like Joe over
No,
here
I
with his
don't. I'm
1.2
poor.
f-stop
Stop
lens.
it. I cover a lot of sports, so I need 70 to 200 stuff like that. 85,
Is the
1.8.
the Sigma 16 millimeter 1.4, and that'll give you pretty much like the bokeh that he has. Not on me because I got green screen, but that'll give you the
Mm.
bokeh that he has. So,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Let me see. So we
but
got a whole bunch of comments coming in. Mr. Joe Collins. Joe, let me tell you something. First of all, Joe Collins and his deep voice. I love me some
yeah,
Joe Collins.
yeah,
But Joe Collins, if I remember correctly, he is a photographer in his profession. So if there's anyone that you do want to listen to, it is that good sir there.
yeah,
And Joe Collins is funny because he blew our minds on
yeah,
his, because he was talking about that he was new to this. He comes on, it was me, Doc, and Diana. He joins a live stream and his bokeh was perfect. He was centered. His mic sounded good. We was all
yeah.
like this. Who you telling
Wow.
lies to? You have been doing this forever. So he said that he uses what did he say? I think a Fuji, and
Fuji,
his
yeah,
yeah. So good stuff. What else do we got on here? I'm checking the channels, the comments too. So
yeah. Me too.
don't be a Canaanite. Do not be a Canaanite. That's all we're gonna say. Sony, don't be a Canaanite. That's it.
I started with a Sony, then I
Okay.
switched to Canon, then back to Sony because I have
Yeah.
the 5D Mark III. But
Okay.
when Sony came out, the A7 III, especially
Yeah.
for what I do, I was like, oh
Yep.
my gosh, this camera, it's amazing. The autofocus, and I did the firmware update a while back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing live streaming, you don't need A7 III or
Nope.
A7R and all that.
No.
It's like overkill because it's not gonna
Right.
be that much of a better picture, you
Right,
know.
exactly. There you go. So that's why, like I said, if you're starting, depending on what your budget is, A5100, and Keith did throw that on there. Where did I see? He said something about Mercari. You can find some on Mercari 350, grab a 5100, throw on a Sigma 30 or 16 millimeter, and boom,
Boom.
you boom, you are ready to go to live stream. And then again, the only difference when you get into the 6000 series cameras versus the 5000 series Sony cameras is that the 6000 and above have 4K. So depending on, but don't sleep on Facebook Marketplace. Don't sleep on Macari. Don't sleep on, I get a lot of my stuff from
Hmm.
swappa.com. It doesn't have to be brand new. So depending on your budget and depending on the deal you can find, um, my personal opinion is, again, depending on your budget, 5100 is great. But if you have a couple of $100 extra, because remember, it's also forward thinking as well.
Yeah.
So today you might be able to afford the 5100, but depending on what you're going to do for the future, if you can wait a few weeks, a month or two, save a couple of hundred more bucks, so now you can get a 6000 series, because the 5100 has 1080p and the A6000 series has 4K,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So you want to future proof yourself as well, because the last thing you want to do is spend $300 today on that 5100 and then spend another $600, $700 on an A61 or 6400. So you got to think about that too.
Yeah, I'm guilty
Um,
of that in the early years of DJing and camera stuff.
yeah,
I bought like so much
yeah,
stuff over. I was like,
yeah,
damn, wasting my money.
yeah,
I hate
yeah,
waiting
legit.
though. That's the thing. I hate
I
waiting.
know,
So
legit.
I
I
buy this
know.
for right now. Then I was like, this is not what I really want. And
Right.
take
And
it
then you're just,
back and all this stuff. It's crazy.
yeah, 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 yeah.
You know.
Exactly. So I see Joe's comment now. I couldn't see that before, but he said using what you have may work great. And he mentioned the camera, and that's what we said earlier. Joe, you came on a little bit late, but that's what I said. My first thing that I emphasized was, if you need to start with a cell phone to live stream, start with a cell phone, because the most important thing in that whole sentence is start.
Yes.
So let's get you to start. And then once we get you started, then we can collectively work and help you as a group to get to where your next level could be. Because you may not, if you got an iPhone 12, you may not need a good camera for a really long time, but we may need to help you with your audio, with your
Yeah.
sound and stuff
iPhone
like that.
camera is
So
amazing.
start. Yeah, man. That iPhone camera, let me see,
I
at the
seen the video
beginning of
you
the
did.
year. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I seen the video you did with the phone, how to use it
And the
as a
film it?
webcam. Yeah.
Yeah, and you couldn't tell. If I wouldn't have said that I was using an iPhone camera, people who are not like you, a photographer, or Joe, like a photographer, right? People who are just doing this stuff on a daily basis probably wouldn't have been able to know. If I put the 12 Pro camera on a tripod, you wouldn't be able to tell that I was using an iPhone camera. So start with what you got.
Yeah. Watch India's video if you haven't watched it on how to turn
Thank
your
you.
iPhone into a webcam.
Yep. 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 Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes. Show
definitely.
me some love on my YouTube channel. And then Callie showing some love, because that's how the Let's Get Live group does. Callie saying that, where is her comment? She did say it. I saw it a little while ago. Be sure to hit the like button if you have not hit the like button, because at the moment there were 13 people watching and only 8 people hit that like button. So boom.
Boom.
Boom. Make sure you hit that like button, y'all. Show some support. And this is Joe's second interview. I'm honored to be your guest, your second guest,
Oh.
followed by, hey, Miss Eileen came through. We got the big dogs coming through. We need to hold on. We
Oh
got
yeah.
some big people showing some love. Yes, Miss Eileen. Thank you so much for showing love. This is Joe's second interview. I followed Kirk Nugent, so a tough act to follow, but I am honored to
Eileen,
have
thank you.
followed. Yeah, no, Eileen is here showing love, showing love. But that's how the Let's Get Live crew does. They show support. I posted it in our page. I posted it to my
Appreciate
personal
that.
page so people come in. You like that new mic shot? Yeah. So it's so funny. Fulgen says that he likes the mic. Normally I have it kind of here and I'm
Mhm.
like kind of leaning in. And so it was annoying me because it was in the way and it was too whatever. So I rearranged the boom arm so that it's kind of like
Boom.
this. Hold on. Hold on. I wasn't ready. That's why I gotta fix it.
Sorry.
Boom. I gotta fix the pages. I'm gonna do that when we get off. But I rearranged my mic arm just so I can put it down and it's directly in front of my face. But now I don't even need to lean so close into it. Like before, I was talking like
That's what
super
I was
close
doing.
into it.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah. Now it's perfect. I think it sounds still really good. So
How do I
boom.
sound? Is it
You
decent?
sound great. The group,
Okay.
gang, let him know how does he sound. I
Yeah,
think
how
you
does it
sound great on
sound?
my, but you sound, yeah, they'll let you know. The crew will let you. The crew would have told you if you sound bad, they holds
Yeah.
nothing back. They would have said, hello, get it together, brother. The way Fulgens came on and said, hello, go pay attention to your Facebook page. They would have told us.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, so
Thanks.
exciting. So excited. I got that Kevin Hart kid. So excited. so excited. It's amazing. I'm very excited to be your second guest. So thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you for
Um,
responding back.
yeah, no, I love this stuff. This stuff is, and like I said, all to help someone out, and to help you blow up. So that's what we about. Oh, see, everybody saying we both sound great.
That's
And
great. That's
Elaine
great.
likes the new mic shot too. Great. Feel good about it. I'm feeling good about my setup now and
And
my green screen.
what type of mic is that?
This is, oh, it's my coveted. I love this mic. This
Custom
is
made?
a Lewitt. Now it's a Lewitt 240 Pro. Lewitt is a lot of musicians actually use Lewitt mics, and they have it in black and in white. But I like to have a little bit of obviously good sound, but I am a big person on aesthetics.
Hmm.
So I decided to. That's why I have my white XLR cable. I
Okay.
have my white mic, and then I got the shock mount in white as well. Because then what happens is, right, you want to sound good, but you also want to catch people's attention. And then they ask, hey, what mic is that you're using? I
It
get that
stands out.
question all the time, right? It stands out. So it served its purpose. So boom,
Boom.
boom.
I think I'm using a Shure mic that I had for like so many years as a DJ. Then I got the pod mic. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
not coming into frame, but I have it on
No.
the Rode Boom
The pod
One.
mic sounds good. Doc Rock uses the pod mic. He sounds great. Kathy Walker uses the pod mic. She sounds great. There's a handful of people that use the pod mic and they sound amazing. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
That's
But,
good.
and it's so funny you said we're talking about that because the one thing I noticed was, right, you have your mic in the frame. You have it right in front of you. You're talking directly to it. It looks good. It don't have to be a fancy looking mic, right? It looks good and it doesn't even need to be an expensive mic. It doesn't really. Of course, there's some exceptions, but it's all about your mic technique as well, right? So you
Mic
want to make
technique.
sure mic technique, right? So you want to make sure, of course, like if I bring this up if I bring this up and I come a little bit closer, right? The closer you sound, again, with me losing my voice, but the closer you come in to the
Yeah,
mic, now I
it's
don't have to talk as loud,
mhm,
but then it gives you a richer, fuller. I'm
correct.
sorry, my voice is scratchy, so we're gonna bring it down because my voice today. Today's a bad day for me to do that test. But it's all about mic technique, right? You want to make sure that you have a good placement because if I lean back, you guys, it's not going to sound. It don't matter how
Yeah, I
great
hear
the
the
mic is.
difference.
It doesn't, right? It doesn't, but if I come in close and I'm closer to the mic, you can now. This is what it's supposed to sound like. This is a good threshold. So this is good technique. So it's all learning and stuff. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't hear like any hiss noises in the mic. Like with
No.
mine, I get that with mine.
Oh,
Not
you
this
get that
one.
little feedback. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't. So with between the Rodecaster Pro and yeah, throw the whole Blue Yeti out. Let me see. The low cost boot up right, right. But it's true, and that's true. No, but it's so funny because we talk about Blue Yeti, and there are a few Blue Yeti users, and he said that because that's it's so funny. When Joe came on, like I said, he came on and he sounded great,
Hmm.
and he looked great. And the first thing we all asked is, "What gear are you using?" So he told
Correct.
us, his his the Fuji mic, the Fuji camera, and then he said a Blue Yeti, and we was like, "What?"
What?
Right, exactly. We were like, "What?" Mind blown.
How did you
Ow!
do
Like,
that?
there's no way. Yeah, and it's exactly what he said, right? Because of his mic technique, it works for him. And Michelle, Imma put her on blast right now. She's gonna get mad at me, but Michelle does use a Blue Yeti, and I was telling her, "You sound great." Like, I wouldn't have she threw herself under the bus by telling us that she used the Blue Yeti.
Mhm.
Had she not told us that she uses a Blue Yeti, there's no way I would have known because she uses proper mic technique. So, you know,
It also depends
that's
like the
good.
room, what type of room you're in, and
Right.
how much
Exactly.
soundproofing, if any,
Yeah.
carpet, couches, all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah. All of that. Yeah. 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 Um,
Well,
Kali's talking about my aesthetics, right? Because she noticed the white on my jacket matching everything
oh,
else.
it
Listen,
does.
that's how we do. That's how we do.
Yo,
Little
the
details,
the
little
white
details.
strings match the XLR cable.
Hey, hey,
Hey,
hey.
and the
Boom.
red
Y'all know.
around the
That's
coffee
it.
matches the red
That's
on the
that's
background.
it. Exactly. That's yes, that was aesthetics. Exactly. The red on where is it? From the buy me a coffee over here. And if you haven't bought me a coffee, please consider buying me a coffee.
Yes, buyercoffee.
buymeacoffee.com/IndiaD. I had to throw the plug in there. But yeah, the red, I did that to get with the red in my background, right? And that's that New York swag. It's like, listen, I got to get it all together and bring it all in. How we going to dial all of it? Because it's aesthetics, whether it's your audio aesthetics, whether it's your visual aesthetics, people want to look at things that sound pretty and look pretty. It's, you tie it all in, you keep people engaged. So,
Correct, correct. You're right.
mhm.
Hopefully, the fans and the listeners like what they're getting.
They
Some
giving listen,
information.
they showing y'all love. They showing y'all love. I had a few people. Kim said it was a great interview. Oh, on your Facebook page, was it I meant to Trisha Campbell. She's on Trisha, she's on your Facebook page. She said you such a great guest. So thank you so much, Trisha. I appreciate you.
Yes, thanks.
And then she was talking about, yeah, so she put a comment when we said using your cell phone for the live stream, Samsung S25G. Yes, honey, because that camera is legit. Like you do not need to spend a couple of $100 on a camera. You throw yourself, you put it, look, check this out, right? You got to have the tools.
Trisha,
You
what's
get
up?
you get yourself a little tripod like
I got
this.
one of those.
There you go, right? And then you
Somewhere.
got a little mic. You don't need a whole fan, but this is my clubhouse setup. The crew knows this is
I
my
got a
clubhouse setup.
phone case. It's unopened.
I want one of those. That's
Yeah.
that small rig, right?
No, this is something from Amazon. It's like $15. Put
Oh,
your phone
because
in.
Small Rig has one like that. They have
Yeah.
one now for the iPhone. But right, you get a tripod, whatever it is, put your phone on a tripod. You get a little portable mic for your phone and
Hmm.
you can start. Right. So this tripod, I got it from Best Buy. This is a Joby tripod. And this tripod, I think is like $30. It came with all of this. So it came with the cell phone holder, it came with the
Hmm.
tripod, and then this is a Rode Video Micro. This was $50. So now between the tripod and the mic, you have $80. Because I have an iPhone, I did need to get this small box. This is called a Rode SE6, and this is just to split the microphone and your headphones from your iPhone. So this is $20. So what are we at? So we're at $90. We got the iPhone, the lightning to headphone adapter, which I think is another $20. So that's 110. And then let's say my headphones from Amazon. Well, no, because if you got headphones from your iPhone, then you don't even need to buy headphones.
Correct.
So 110 bucks. If you have an iPhone or a Samsung Galaxy, I would say any camera from the Samsung Galaxy S9 and up is more than enough to get you streaming. You just need the rest of the tools. So under 150 bucks with your cell phone, boom, we can get
Boom.
you. Boom, we can get you up and running, okay? So no excuses, make it happen.
Yeah, you can't beat that price. That's a good
Yeah.
price.
Yeah,
Everything else
boom.
is much more expensive than that.
There you go. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's a good
So,
setup.
yeah, man, this has been great. I'm super excited.
Yeah,
So
so
excited.
I appreciate you for coming on
I
the
appreciate
show.
you.
You know,
Yeah.
I know we went over the time that I said, but I'm glad, you know,
We gonna get you in we're gonna get you in Let's Get Live because you
yeah.
look at your comments. That's the Let's Get Live group
I
right
see,
there,
I
okay?
see.
So we're gonna get you in the Let's Get Live group. Then the next thing after we get you in the Let's Get Live group is we gonna get you in that 5 hour energy stream.
Oh man.
So
I
be
got a
ready. We
got a
gonna get you.
couch right here sleep on. 5 hours.
There you go. Yeah, man. But yeah, and for those of you guys watching, so we are gonna I'll do some plugs if you don't mind,
Yeah, go
Joe.
ahead, sure.
So Ecamm Live Community Takeover is still for the month, and I'm going to be doing stuff. Some of the crew knows that I am going to be doing stuff throughout the year with Ecamm on my end. But for this month, we do have the Ecamm Live Community Takeover. So as far as Ecamm, some of the things that I'm going to be doing is on the 24th, which is next week, Sunday, I'm going to have Fulgens on as my guest and Dr. Elo, and we're going to walk you through remote production and scene setup. So planning your scenes, so kind of like I spoke about a few minutes ago, planning your overlays and your scenes, talking with your guests, putting them in the green room, assigning for Ecamm. We're going to do a whole production on that, and that's going to be kind of behind the scenes software planning to get you up and running with interview mode. That's the 24th, next week, Sunday. This Wednesday, I am going to do a live stream with Robert Kennedy III, and he's going to be showing me how to really get my loop back set up with Ecamm. I don't need it, but I do have it because if God forbid something happens with my Roadcaster, I still want to have a backup. So I got to get my loop back set up. So that's this week, Wednesday, the 20th, with Robert Kennedy III, setting up loop back with Ecamm. And then tonight, we got a lot of stuff going on tonight in the Let's Get Live group. But as far as me, you will see on my personal page, I just have to nail down the time anywhere from 8 to 10. I am going to do a live stream with the ladies for ladies night. So boom, you know how we do on ladies night. We're going to have a good time. So make sure if you're not watching or if you have not subscribed to me, please subscribe to my channel and you'll have lots of fun the way we do. So boom. And that's it. And that's it.
Oh, okay. I have my mic on mute.
You're all good. You're all good. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So I appreciate you for coming on the show
No, I
once
appreciate
again.
you.
You know,
Yeah.
thank you
Appreciate you.
for
So I'm just
the
looking at the
Let's Get
comments
Live
real
crew.
quick to make sure we didn't miss anybody. David Blackman showed up just now on your
Yes,
Facebook page. So good luck. Good looking out, David. That's
David?
another Let's Get Live crew. I love me some David. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday,
Happy
David. I put
birthday,
you on.
David.
That's my brother right there. And then Chocolate Twist, that's Kali. She did ask how much space is needed for a 4 talking head setup. Kali, it depends on what you're going to put in between. You really don't need that much space, but if it's going to be 4 heads and then something in between, so maybe message me, talk to me a little bit more. Because I did that last week. There was 4 of us, right? Yeah, it was me, David,
Yeah.
and Fulgence. And then we had the Ecamm, the what was it, the stream deck in the middle. So you don't need that much space. So I hope that answered your question. That was kind of vague, I think. All right, my bad. I kept cutting you off today, Joe. I'm sorry.
It's good. It's all right. Fulgence, I see your message. Thanks.
Yeah, see?
Thank you.
Man, listen, that's how we gonna do New York all day. Yurt, y'all already know. I didn't do my. I'm gonna get a soundbite with yurt, so that everybody
Yerp.
knows. There you go, represent New York. Yurt.
Alright.
Anyway,
Alright.
so this
So
has been fun. Thank you for having me,
yes.
Joe. I appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. Like to let everybody know they can follow me on Instagram at jswiftphotos. My new Instagram is Tech Talk with Swift, and my other one, well, I have a few. The other one is Our World Media at Our World Media, and at Tech Talk with Swift is the new one that I'm building. So please follow
There you
that,
go.
everybody. And once again,
Hey,
India, thank you for coming on. Thanks for the sound effects.
you. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I got you.
All right, and we're gonna
All
end
right,
it.
it's been real.
All right.